Sir, can you see the screen?
Not yet, Sumudu. Share only the methodology part of that presentation slides only.
Okay, sir. Sir, give me 1 minute.
Okay, no problem.
I am using my mobile phone and sharing that.
Oh, can't you share it from the mobile?
Wait, sir. I will
Okay, no problem. We'll wait.
What about now, sir? Is it visible?
Still not visible, Sumudu.
සුමුදුත් නෑ සුමුදුත් ගියා.
ඒකට වැඩේ යාගේ මේ.
කවුද ළමයි බස් එකේ ඉන්න වෙලාව?
ඉතින් බස් එකේ කියන්නේ ඉතින් යා මෙච්චර.
බස් එකේ නම් අමාරුයි නේද අපිට බලන්න.
ඔව්වන්.
Let's see whether she can share it.
සුමුදු send the file then we can share it for you.
Okay, madam.
Or send it to Pinky, then she will share it to you.
Okay.
For us.
I sent it to Gitme and Dr. Callum.
Callum, ask me to share it then. We can't hear you, Callum. You are mute.
I will share it. No problem. I will share it.
Get me also on the way.
Let me share that. Okay, you can see, no?
Yes, I can see.
Okay. You can, Sumudu, you can start.
Okay, I'll start from the topic.
Yeah.
Actually, I revised my topic several times. At the last workshop, Professor Asoka said that the topic is too long and short, make the short topic for that. That's why I have cut off that higher diploma holders and employers and educators rather than using these three terms. The Professor Asoka said that we can use the stakeholders. Still, I didn't kept it there, but I highlighted and keep it with the topic. I'm expecting to change that. And next, when it comes to objectives, for my research, actually I am covering up 3 research objectives. My first objective is to identify the entry-level skills that IT high diploma holders require. And the next one is to assess the perceived requirement of these entry-level skills by IT higher diploma holders, employers, and educators. As the third one, I have to examine whether an expectation gap exists in the requirement. And as the methodology, I have selected with the quantitative techniques. Actually, I read 20 research papers, and out of those 20, I found 50 researchers, they use the same method, quantitative techniques. And also, since I need to see the relationship between variables, actually that's about the skills. I think that is the best method for that. And next, as the sampling unit, initially I hope to take 450 participants. That means in my case, there are 3 stakeholders. For the employer case, from that party, I have taken 150. Likewise, I equally distributed that 450 among 3 stakeholders. And next, as the sampling method, I have selected stratified convenience sampling. Next, I have to mention one thing. Still, I didn't find any question here. The reason is I am new to this research method. The reason is up to now I have done only the implementation research in IT. This is the first time I am using this method and doing the research like this. Then actually I don't have the idea initially, but after finishing the workshop, I have taken the idea how to use those method and collect the data. I hope to use the standardized questionnaire as the data collection method. Yes, as the conceptual framework, I have one main hypothesis, and also there are 3 sub-hypotheses. I am going to find the
Your voice is breaking again. Can you repeat it?
gap, whether they are stakeholders about these skill papers, and I always about the conceptual framework, sir. Hello?
Yes,
Yes,
we can
Sumudu.
hear.
Yeah, we can hear. We can see.
Yes. In my case, I have only one main hypothesis. Initially, I had 3, but according to the guidance given by Professor Asok and Professor Ajwar, I have kept only one hypothesis that's mentioned in my literature review as well. This time, actually, I am unable to open that, but under one main hypothesis, I have 3 sub-hypotheses. Based on these 4 skill categories,
We can understand what you have done.
next I kept the
Continue. No problem, Sudhu, but we have to correct this one. But anyway, we can understand what you did. Go to the next slide then.
Okay. These are the variables actually I have selected. Under all these variables, there are certain set of skills. And some of the skill I have founded and proved with the research papers from existing research papers. And still, I didn't finalize the set of skills under each category. And here I kept the definition and the research I found where that skills are taken. And according to the 3 objectives, the analysis techniques are listed down here in my next slide. For the first objective, that means to identify the entry-level skills among these 3 stakeholders. I hope to use the t-test and the one-way ANOVA, and to examine, to assess the perceived requirement of these entry-level skills by these 3 stakeholders. I am proposing that comparative analysis, or I don't know, actually that is correct. I have kept the correlation analysis as well. After read out the research papers and to examine whether an expectation gap exists in the requirement, I propose that descriptive statistic. Yes. As the challenges, I listed these 3, basically low response rate. That means I am using the questionnaire method I don't know whether all of them are responding that, and the number of responders, and also maybe response bias, and also sampling issues also there. But I want to address all the areas in the country. Since I am doing this for the private universities, I can cover up all private universities around Sri Lanka.
Okay.
That's about my methodology.
Okay. Ajwat sir, shall we give some comments? Any slides you want to highlight? Let me know, Ajwat sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Okay, sir. Definitely. I hope I'm audible, sir.
Yes,
Hello.
we can hear you.
We can hear, Ajwat sir. We can hear.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, Sumudu. Thank you for your effort. Appreciated. However, the thing is, it's still in quite primary stage. Where we have not seen some significant improvements. But again, to tell, yes, one, I think it's better to have stakeholders. And since we are taking key stakeholders, I think it might be better to indicate key stakeholders.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, if not, this is going to be too lengthy. So I fully agree with Professor Asoka. So IT script, so to reflect, it's the key stakeholders that you are considering. Okay, so that's the thing. And the main problem is that you have not still come up with the proper skill list. It's really pending. That even in the last time we highlighted that we need.
Yet, most of the cases.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, Sumudu. Anything you want to say?
No, sir. That's okay.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Now the thing is, okay.
Sounds from the bus. You can
Bus.
hear.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, the thing is, so now the main, there are two significant issues which I'll highlight quickly. One, we don't still see your skill list.
Sumudu, you can off your mic and listen to Professor Ajwat. It's better. If you want to answer only, you can switch on.
Yeah, I think it's better. And you could have told if it is not convenient, we could have arranged another time. Yes, even 9 p.m. would have been okay, but again, 8 p.m. would have been okay. But again, all right. The major issue, Sumudu, that we see in your, that means,
Keep that slide, Callum.
yeah, the main issue is that you have not come up with uh, your skill list. Then your first objective is to identify the entry-level skills. No? In fact, we can keep it as an objective better, because that, however, will be a part of your literature review. So in the literature review, you have to identify what are the key entry-level skills. And so you could keep it as it is. So maybe because it's not, so you have to look at the skill frameworks related to IT and benchmark statements in accounting, in marketing. There are benchmark statements for IT also. There are. So please look into that, and it's an urgent task. Because in the literature review also, when we were looking at, we highlighted this fact, you need to have those skills, but still we don't see that skills being derived. So I don't know whether you have to expedite the thing, look at several frameworks and come up with this list, which is what's the main expectation under the methodology section, because without it we cannot proceed. That's one thing. And you, so keep on that objective, sir. And then now related to us now, we'll go to the analysis, and particularly for your concept, shall we go to the conceptual framework then to make things quite quick? Let me come to that. The conceptual framework, yeah, conceptual framework. Now your conceptual framework is not correct, because here we are looking at a gap. So in fact, you don't need a conceptual framework, because we are looking at gaps, the perception gaps between among three parties. That's where you are taking the diploma holders, the teachers, and the employers. So here we are looking at gaps. So you don't have a correlation or regression analysis. You are looking at gaps. So for that, there is no conceptual framework, but there is a hypothesis. The hypothesis is only one. You are correct there, but it's not looking at relationships. You are looking at, you would say you will develop a null hypothesis or an alternative hypothesis, particularly since you are doing a one-way ANOVA. So the analysis that you have to perform is a one-way ANOVA analysis with post-hoc analysis. Okay, and if the data is not normal, then you might need to go for a non-parametric Kruskal-Wallis test. So likewise, you have to decide what you are going to do. But again, it's not a correlation or regression analysis. So can we go to the table where down, table analytical techniques, analytical techniques. In a table like a variety. Now in this table, you are saying that you are going to identify the entry level skills. It's not through a t-test in one way. No, you cannot identify what are the entry level skills by that. No, you could identify this by performing a literature review, a comprehensive literature review. So that's how you are going to achieve this objective. But it will be a part of your literature review as well. So either you could keep this objective, or you could take it, or you could tell that you are going to do it by doing the comprehensive literature review. Then your second objective to see, to assess the levels. There, of course, again, the analysis that we have indicated is wrong, right? You have to use descriptive analysis to see the levels, the mean, then also the standard deviation you could use to see the levels of each skill, okay, or the skill categories. Now you are going to identify skill categories. I saw some certain skill categories, right? Generic skills, then technical skills. Likewise, there could be skill categories, but that also should come from the comprehensive literature review, right? Which we don't see yet. And the third objective based on you, it's not descriptive statistics, to see the gaps or to see the difference among the three groups, right? You have to use differential statistics. That means to see the difference, you have to use one-way ANOVA, because you have three groups with post-hoc analysis like duties. And if the data is not normal, then you might need to go for Kruskal-Wallis test to achieve your third objective according to what you have shown. So, Sumudu, it seems you have not quite read well, papers on the methodology. As we told you, it might not be in your area, of course. The papers might not be in IT skills, but on other areas, there are enough studies done. But seems you have not gone through those studies well to identify what are the techniques and what are the methodologies, the methods they are used. By looking at your, the techniques that you have listed, unfortunately, what we can see is you have no any idea of what you are trying to do. So you have your objectives, right, delineated, but unfortunately, by looking at the techniques and what you have written here, it's in a very basic stage. So, which we need to, I don't know, you need to expedite the things and read good papers, find a good paper. Maybe it's not in your area, IT skills, entry-level skills, but in some other area, and then replicate that methodology to IT area, right? In your area. So, which we don't see. I'm a little bit surprised to see, this in this stage after going through this much of, work. So, so those are my key issues that I see. Still, we don't see listing as well as classification of skills, and the techniques being completely out of order. And also, and when you look at these the gaps or the differences among the groups, you can do it for the overall skills and skill categories. Skill categories as well as for each skills also, if you want, you can do that. That's a different thing. But again, the thing is that by looking at what you have got here in your presentation, shows that you have a very little knowledge of the methodology that you are going to apply. So you need to look at papers. You told you looked at 22 papers, but I don't know what kind of things you looked at. Maybe I don't know whether you looked at the abstracts or the
So
topics.
that day we explained how to check that papers, quality of the papers as well, isn't it, Ajwat? And also how to download this questionnaire is also explained to you. I think you need to go through that and check, no, Ajwat sir?
Yes, sir. That if not, I don't think we can proceed further.
Hmm.
මීට වඩා නම් ගෙනියන්න බැරි
Oh.
වෙයිස මොකද
So,
ඒක පොඩ්ඩක් ඒක ටිකක්
oh.
මීට වඩා ඉවන්න වෙනවා.
Sumudu, Bonahari, if you want to add something.
Can I comment?
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah.
Sumudu can give
No,
some comments.
no, I will also explain because this is
Right. Okay. Right.
then go to topic. Sumudu, as I mentioned yesterday, this performance you can't measure. No, then the same type of research is done for the service organizations. Like in the Parasuraman already done this type of research and using Servakwal model. Yes, in the workshop I asked you to download all the questionnaire and all thing available for this Servakwal model. It measures all the perceived expectations and perceived performance because we can't measure the performance. No, we check the perceived performance, how they perceive, how the employees perceived about the performance. What are their, maybe the expectations, okay, but it's also perceived, what they perceived and the perceived expectations and perceived performance gap. You can write like the perceived expectation and performance gap among like key stakeholders and which entry level. Regarding the entry level, maybe to the entry level to the university or workforce. Okay. Then yesterday also, in the workshop also, I asked you where to enter. Okay, then the perceived expectation performance gap among key stakeholders regarding the entry level skills of to the workforce or something is maybe enough. Otherwise, it will be not again too long. Or you think about that. Okay, entry level skills to where to enter, not given anywhere. Okay, then things it's you can use the same Servakwal model. They also use the perceived expectation and performance gap, like the as an example organization thing that we are treating customers very well. Okay, that's the what we think. But there is a gap. The customer may think this is a very bad company. Okay, like that. Already these gaps are measured using this Parasuraman Servakwal model. You can use, so you can check similar type.
Ashoka, we can't hear you. Ashoka, we can't hear you.
Miss Scott is
Model. Okay.
Again,
Then
re-explain, we can't hear.
there is an internet connection problem. Can you hear now?
No, fine.
Okay. Then go to, then as no need a conceptual framework. The objective first one, you don't need a conceptual, the first objective is wrong. You don't need that type of objective because we can, as Professor Ajit mentioned, you have to do it from the literature. Then your objectives should be to identify the levels of perceived expectations and the perceived performance. And the second objective is to check whether there is any gap among the perceived expectation and performance among key stakeholders. That's enough. And the analysis is also wrong, no conceptual framework needed. The method that Professor Ajad mentioned, you can use to do, but it's very simple one, Sumudu, then no problem. You need to identify the questionnaire to measure the perceived expectations and perceived performance. That's all. You can use the same set of questions you can give it to the employees, students, and the education institutes. Then that's if you can find a questionnaire, or if you can change little bit that Servakwal model, Parasuraman Servakwal model questionnaire, you can use that one to this one. or check any questionnaire available to measure these educational programs or like similar thing to your study. Yeah, that's my comments. We can't hear you, Kalu.
Mudu, can you comment on that?
Uh, yes, I got all the comments. In some cases, I also had the failure of the internet connection.
Yeah.
Can I have this recording?
Yeah, definitely. I will send it to you. Recording Sumudu now on the workshop day. Ajwat sir explain how to download these questionnaires as well. Do you
Yes, I
remember
got
that?
that point there.
Okay.
Yes, I
And
remember.
also now these papers, what you have gone through, actually you need to validate and see whether these papers are really good papers. That also Ajwat sir that day mentioned, isn't it, Ajwat sir? How to
Yes.
check that, and Ashoka also explained that, I think, how to check that whether that is
Yeah,
ranked.
I showed
Yes.
the Parasuraman Servakwal model and she downloaded the questionnaire, but I didn't have time to go through at that time because so many presentations were there. No, then I couldn't individually check what she downloaded.
Sumudu, one thing I think you can do quickly, you can readjust this and then speak to Professor Ashoka and then show it. Isn't it, Ajit sir? Before now,
Yeah,
the
that's
time is running out no, because of this time framework. We have time framework as well. So we need to make sure that in that time framework, we are going to complete it as well. No? So that's why you need to take little bit more interest on this and quickly you can now in case now Ajwat sir now if she didn't have to change entire introduction and the literature part no once
sir. I
she
think
yeah
no, I think yeah, I think there's a small now based on what Sumudu tried to do at the beginning, and now what she is trying to do is little bit a small mismatch is there. Let me just clarify that. So give me a moment. So I'm trying to actually download and show a paper.
what we will ask her to go through the entire paper and then submit
And
with the introduction literature review and methodology together no
Yeah,
then
because entry level then skills that she is going to test, we are not aware whether she has collected it or not from the literature because she is also not sure about the different types of skills that she is going to check.
that's what Ajit told that maybe there's standards for the IT students as well, such as the
Yes,
management and so forth. In that particular standard, most probably those important skills are highlighted there. We
yeah,
need to check that, yes.
yeah.
yeah. Now, actually, there's a small also kind of a there are two I think directions she can go into. One I could see is that she can use the service call model and as Vice Raman said, she could move ahead. Or now, if she is concentrating on skills, uh, you could use the Boolean Porter's model where they have used the skills and they are checking whether there is a perception gap regarding the skills. So it's I think the originally the idea was to see whether there's a skill gap regarding the perceptions. Although performance has come as a part of the topic, uh, actually that means rather than performance, that it's also now. Let me share my screen. So
Callum, close this.
may I show my screen? Okay, right. So let me show it. Okay. Okay, so this was the kind of original idea that we proposed, the expectation performance gap in accounting education. It's IT education and exploratory study. So, Sumudu, in fact, we directed you on the first day itself. That means when you were in that, when you met that Jet C, this is the paper that we ask you to, in fact, go through. because here what it says is, although it says performance, it's not related to the performance of the undergraduate, but it's in terms of their performance in terms of their skills. So what's the expectation and performance in terms of their skills? So, but when we see what you have done, I think, so you have, that's what I told, you have two directions. So you can choose whatever the direction that's good. One, you can concentrate on the skills and see whether there is a perception gap in terms of how these skills are being applied by different stakeholders, the students, the employers, as well as the educators, the teachers. So here, Bui and Porter, the Bui and Porter study, they have come with a framework for this. So, so I would encourage again to read this article. That's one direction. The other one is using service call model. The service call model, and see that's another dimension where you are not merely looking at skills. Of course, skills are taken into consideration, but again, you are looking at what's the expectation and what's the actual performance. So these are two directions. So you could choose a direction that suits you, but now based on what you are showing here, you have concentrated on skills. Uh, so rather than, so I think that the confusion made because you use the term performance, but here the performance is used as a matter of the application of the skills. So so you could decide to which direction you go, but in the first place now, since you are highlighting the skills you need now, this is about accounting. Here in accounting, there is a set of skills given, and they have looked at whether these skills are to what extent that's there. So it says like, okay, in accounting, that what's being expected, but actually when it comes to the employer's perception, it's not being applied properly. So likewise, that's what finally the conclusion is. But in your case, so you have to think it very carefully, and you have to tell us what's your base article, maybe not in IT, but in some other area, where you had used service call model or Boolean Porter's model or whatever other thing, and you need to have a base research paper, which we don't still see that you have got. So based on that, you have to develop, you have to quickly move forward and get the dynamic set up, and then start, developing your methodology based on that. So I see still you are in a primary stage. Yeah.
Sumudu, Ashoka, anything else you would like to add?
Yeah, if she wants, she can identify the skills from the literature, and she can check whether the same skills are expected by the other parties,
Yeah.
like employees even.
Yeah, Miss. Now, actually,
Yes.
that's what has been done by Bui and Potter. So that's that's what I was telling. It's up to her. But again, whatever she still, I don't see a significant progress. So whatever thing that she should have got a good article that has used Bui and Potter, or maybe that has used service call, and then to come up with the operationalization. So what I see is still she's in the Jetting C workshop stage.
So, Mudhu, why can't you do a research on your area, like means that what you used to do? Then you mentioned this is new to you, this type of research, and why can't you do something related that what you have done before, similar thing?
Yes, my area is machine learning. I have done two research actually, one from IoT and one from machine learning. Both of them are implementation based research. That's the thing. Actually, I
That's the
don't
thing.
have.
She is having models, I think,
Yeah,
implementing
but
models.
she can work with somebody from that area, and she can develop a research without doing this type of one, I think, because she's related to her field.
I think that's a good observation, Kalam sir. Because I think what really is there is what I say is she's not having interest in this. That's why it is not progressive. If he has an interest, she would have found out articles, gone through. She should have had a drive. But now it's like she's doing what we want. So I think,
Yeah, because if Sumudu has already developed some new model, then you can publish a paper based on that development of that model. Then you don't want to implement it later. You can implement and write another research paper. But developing a model would be a one research paper. You can't develop a model without all the other, without knowing what already had happened, and that one, then you have to write down the existing knowledge and what the addition or what you develop. You can write, I think, from the according to her expertise area.
so
Because we are not familiar with that one, but she has to find a good supervisor or someone to work with.
to guide her can also, because we will be now if she's going to divert into that kind of a machine learning algorithms and things, we are unable to help her.
Yeah.
We might need to then connect her with a person who does research on that area.
Area. So we will find out that. Sumudu, what do you think, Sumudu? If you are comfortable with that, yeah.
And then I have to change all my process until that means starting from beginning.
No, currently you have already done something, no? You have some kind of model already developed, isn't it?
Yes, still I am doing one.
Uh,
Uh,
so can't you convert that into the research paper? That
yeah,
work.
I can convert that.
Yeah.
Let her to decide, no, either to continue this one or write a new paper from her field.
Okay, anyhow, now Sumudu, what you can do is, can you kindly contact Ashok? Can you help her a little bit regarding
Yeah,
this?
sure.
Sumudu, can you contact Ashoka, right? Then get an appointment and meet her, or through the
Yeah,
Zoom
but
you
she
can have.
has to find measurements
Yes.
before and identify the skills and find the measurement scale before coming to meet me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no point of meeting, just meeting.
Yeah.
Come with all the relevant things, the measurements and the skills identified from the literature.
Okay. Sumudu, is that okay? Can you do that?
Okay, sir, I can do. Actually, sir, I
Yeah.
have lectures on all 7 days. That's the reason I can't do anything. Even I need to do the research, I will have to start my research work at midnight. That is
Yes,
12
yes.
or
We
1
understand.
a.m.
Yes, we understand that.
Today
So, Mother,
also,
then have a Zoom meeting with me. No need to come physically. You don't want to physically come and meet
no,
me.
it's okay, madam. The
Yeah.
reason is I also come in the lectures for the Colombo Center. Most of the time I was there. The thing is actually to work with this, I don't have enough time.
Time,
I'm
yeah. We understand
expected to
that
do
because
this.
of the workload very high for you. And
Yes, for the
also,
regional centers, we have a lot of work, sir.
Sumudu,
Sorry.
behema karanna now. Anyhow, you are in the process ni. Now, what we have mentioned, Professor Ajwada as well as Professor Ashoka mentioned, is if you can identify the certain skill sets, what are the
Yeah,
skills you are going to evaluate and so
sir,
forth,
I would
then,
like to continue this one. And I
okay.
study and prepare everything.
Right.
Yeah, then no
So,
problem.
yeah.
Yeah, you read and identify the skills that you need to measure and the this performance expectations, how to measure, find out from the literature. Then you can continue, no problem.
Okay, ma'am. I will do that.
Okay, with that you
Yeah,
call me, then we can have a Zoom
Ajwad,
meeting.
මේ අශෝක කේස් ස්ටඩි එකක් වගේ මට කරන්න පුළුවන් නේද?
Now, case study එක නෙමෙයි.
නෙවෙයිනේ.
No.
අපි බලන්නේ මෙතන මම පොඩ්ඩක් මම නැවත ෂෙයා කරන්නම්.
Yeah.
මේ වගේ එකක් තමයි සර් දැන් මෙතන පේනවා මේ මොඩල් එක තමයි බුලියන් පෝට් එකේ මොඩල් එක. එතන කියනවා දැන් බලන්න මේක තමයි actual competencies perceived by employees.
Oh.
Employees.
Oh.
මේක තමයි actually මේ IT graduates ලගෙන් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන entry level graduates ලගේ බලාපොරොත්තු.
ඔව්.
අනිත් පැත්තෙන් competency is desired by the employees. මේක තමයි ඒගොල්ලන් desire කරන්නේ. මේක තමයි ඒගොල්ලන් දකින්නේ.
ඔව්.
එතකොට ඔන්න ඔය ગેප් එක තමයි මේ කතා කරන්නේ. ඒ ગેප් එක අතරේ තව ગેප්ස් කීපයක් තියෙනවා. ඒ තමයි competencies reasonably expected by educators. Educators expect කරන අනිත් පැත්තෙන් ඊට වඩා සාමාන්‍ය මේ ටිකක් මෙන්න මේ බුයම් පොටගේ මේ ෆ්‍රේම්වර්ක් එක මෙතන. අනිත් පැත්තේ competencies desired by educators. ඒගොල්ලෝ desire කරන්නේ මොකද්ද? ඊට පස්සේ reasonably expected. එතකොට එහෙම බලාගෙන ගියාම ඔන්න පේනවා මේක educators performance gap. ඊට පස්සේ මෙන්න මේක තමයි expectation gaps ටික. මේ constraints gap එකක් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. මොකද ඇත්තටම ඒක අපිට එහෙමම ඩිලිවර් කරන්න බෑ. විශ්වවිද්‍යාලවල සහ එක තැන්වල
තියෙන අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වුණා එඩියුකේටර්ස්ලා හිටියට නේ.
අන්න හරි. එතන ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ තියෙනවා gaps. ඉතින් මේක තමයි බුයම් පෝටගේ complete framework එක. එතකොට මේක දැන් ඇප්ලයි කරලා තියෙන්නේ accounting වල මේ accounting graduates ඇප්ලයි කරලා තියෙනවා. දැන් එතකොට මෙතන බලන්නේ skills විතරයි. මේ skill සම්බන්ධයෙන් තියෙන gap එක. එතකොට employers දැන් මේක තමයි සමස්ත gap එක. ඒ අතර expectation gap එක මෙතන තියෙනවා. මෙතන performance gap එකකුත් තියෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ ඇත්තටම අන්තිමට මෙයා expect කරන එකට වඩා මෙන්න මේකේ ඇත්තටම මේගොල්ලන් perceive කරන එක මේ දැන් ඒගොල්ලන් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා IT සම්බන්ධයෙන් මේක Python පුළුවන් කියලා. නමුත් එහෙම දෙයක් නැති වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒකට ඒ විදිහේ gaps කීපයක්ම බුලියන් පොට මේ education framework එකට apply කරලා තියෙනවා. මේක accounting වල ජනප්‍රිය, ඒ කියන්නේ accounting සහ තවත් සමහර මේ frameworks වල ජනප්‍රිය ලෙස use වෙන framework එක. ඒතකොට මේකෙදි මේක මම නිකම් දැන් බලමු බුලියන් පොටගේ original framework එක බලුවොත් මේක තියෙනවා. එතනදී බලන්නේ ඇත්තටම මෙන්න මේ T-test සහ විශේෂම one way යනවා කරලා බලනවා මේ වගේ gap එකක් තියෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ constraints සම්බන්ධයෙන් මේකේ question එකක් අර වගේ derive කරගත්තා නම් සහ ඇත්තටම මේ හැම දෙයකම කලින් එන්න ඕන skills ටික.
ඒක තමයි මේක මේ අනිත් එක ස්ටඩීස් වලට accounting වලටම තියෙන නිසා හැබැයි ඒගොල්ලෝ
accounting නෙවෙයි මිස්.
ඔව් මේක හැබැයි කන්වර්ට් කරගන්න පුළුවන් මෙයාට.
ඒක තමයි මං කිව්වේ මේ accounting වල හරි තියෙන නිසා ඒකම තියෙන values අරන් මේවා අරකටත් කන්වර්ට් කරගන්න පුළුවන්.
අන්න හරි. ඒක දැන් කරන්න ඕන දැන් මේ අරන් තියෙන ඔක්කොම accounting මෙයා papers බර ගන්නක් බලලා මෙයා ලිස්ට් එකක් හදාගෙන ඉන්නවා එක skills. ඒතකොට accounting සම්බන්ධයෙන් දැන් අපිට ඕන වෙලා තියෙන සුමුදුෙන් මෙන්න මේ විදියට ගිහිල්ලා බලලා දැන් මම ස්කිල්ස් ගන්නවා ඊට පස්සේ ස්කිල් කැටගරිස් හිටම මෙයා බලලා තියෙනවා. එතකොට ඒ අනුව ඒකේ එක මේවා ටික අරගෙන ඊට පස්සේ තමයි බලන්න වෙන්නේ මේ අතරේ ගැප්ස් තියනවාද කියලා. ඊට පස්සේ කරන්න තියෙන්නේ ටීටෙස් සහ වන් වේ යනවා කරලා බලනවා මේකේ වෙනසක් තියනවාද කියලා. අන්න ඒ විදිහේ ගියක් මේක නම් කොන්ෆරන්ස් එකක මම බුයන් පොට ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කරන්න දෙන්නේ. මම ඒක මගේ අර මේ සෝස් එකකින් ගන්න ඕන නිසා. මෙන්න මේ ස්ටඩි එක මම අපි සුමුදුට කියනවා බලන්න expectation power gap in accounting education කියන එක මෙයා මේකට ඇප්ලයි කරලා තියෙනවා මේකම ડોક્ટર නදනා එයා ඇප්ලයි කරලා තියෙනවා ඔඩිටිං වල ඒ වගේම දැන් ඒ වගේ බලන්න මේ වගේ එකක් මේ වගේ ෆ්‍රේම් මේකම නෙවෙයි නැත්තම් වෙන මොනවා ෆ්‍රේම් එකක් ස්කිල්ස් තමයි බලන්නේ ස්කිල්ස් සම්බන්ධයෙන් ඒ වගේ ગેප් එකක් තියෙනවා
ටොපික් එකත් ඔය වගේම කොට වුණා නම් හොඳයි මේ සුමුදු අර වගේ දිග විස්තරයක් නැතුව.
ඔව් ඒකට ස්ටේක් හෝල්ඩර්ස් ලා කතාත් ඕනේ නේ කෙලින්ම ඇත්තට මොකද ඇත්තට ස්ටේක් හෝල්ඩර්ස් ලා ගන්න මෙන්න මේ තුන් දෙනා. ඒ කියන්නේ ඒ කියන්නේ එම්ප්ලොයිස් ලවයි එඩියුකේටර්ස් ලවයි
සුමුදු අරන් තියෙන්නේ ඒ තුනම තමයි.
ඒ තුන තමයි. ඇත්තට ඒක තමයි ඔරිජිනල් අයිඩියා එක උනේ. මම ඒකයි ඒතර ඔරිජිනල් අයිඩියා එකක් උනේ ඒකයි. නමුත් සුමුදු දැන් හොයාගන්න ඕනේ මේ පේපර්ස් අරගෙන කියවන්න ඕන පුතා. කියවලා ඔයා බලන්න ඕන මේක ඊට පස්සේ තමයි අපිට කතා කරලා අපිට උදව් කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ. මොකද මම දන්නවා දැන් අපිට දැන් ඇත්ත කාරණේ එළියට ආවා. ඒ තමයි ඉතින් මේ වොෂ්රූම් යන්නවත් වෙලාවක් නැති තත්ත්වයක් තියෙන්නේ. ඉතින් එහෙම තත්ත්වයකදී තමයි දැන් ඉන්නේ. මේක අපිට තේරෙනවා දැන් ඒකත් එක්ක. නමුත් දැන් මේක කෙරෙනවා නම් කරන්න වෙන්නේ අර වගේ මම හිතන්නේ මම දන්නේ ලීව් ඇප්ලයි කරන්න වගේ මම හිතන්නේ ඩීජි සර්ච් එකක් කතා කරලා ඊට පස්සේ මේකට බහැලා ස්කිල් සෙට් එක හදාගන්න වෙනවා. මොකද මේ කරලා තියෙන්නේ අර වගේ ස්කිල්ස් අනුව ඊට පස්සේ අපි අහනවා එක මේවා ඉඳින් මේකේ ක්වෙස්චන් එක ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කරගන්න පුළුවන් අර කිව්වා වගේ මේ එක ඔය ඇපෙන්ඩික්ස් වල තියෙනවා මේ ක්වෙස්චන් එක බුලියන් පොට් එකේ ක්වෙස්චන් එක. ඊට පස්සේ ඒක ඇප්ලයි කරන එක හොඳට තේරුම් අරගෙන ඒක ස්මූදි ඉතින් පොඩ්ඩක් හොඳට තේරුම් ගන්න ඕනේ. You will have to understand it. ඊට පස්සේ තමයි මේක හරියට ඇප්ලයි කරගන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ කියන එක. මේ පැත්තෙන් යනවා. නැත්නම් කෙසේ වෙතත් අපි යෝජනා කරන්නේ ස්මූදි දැන් ඔයාලට තේරෙනවා මොකද්ද කරන්න ඕනේ කියලා. දැන් අංක 1 කරන්න ඕන දේ තමයි හොඳ ආටිකල් එකක් මේ පදනම් ආටිකල් එකක් බේස් ආටිකල් එකක් තෝරගෙන ඒක අපි ඉදිරියට ගෙනියන විදිය තමයි හිතන්නට ඕන මොනවා හරි එකක්. ඉතින් ඒක ඉක්මනටම කරලා දැන් 22ක් ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කරලා ඉකුවා. ඒකෙන් හොඳ අඩුම ගානේ හොඳ ජර්නල් එක පබ්ලිෂ් වෙලා තියෙන එකක් මේකක් අරගෙන ඒක අනුව මේක අදාගෙන ඉදිරියට අනේක තමයි මම හිතන්නේ කළ යුත්තේ කියන්නේ. That's our
ඔය
suggestion.
සුමුදු එයා ඔය ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කරගත්ත හොඳ මේ ක්වෙස්චන් එකක් තියෙන ආටිකල් එකක් එක්කලා මාටත් එක්ක ඩිස්කස් කරන්න. එතකොට මට කියන්න පුළුවන් මේම කරන්න කියලා.
හරියට හරි මිස්ටර් එහෙම බැක් කරලා.
එයා ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කරපුවා අපි කවුරුත් දැකලත් නැහැ මුකුත් නැහැනේ ඒ ලිස්ට්
ඔය
එකත් එක්කම
එදත් මට එකක් එයා පෙන්නුවා. ඉතින් මට අර ප්‍රසන්ටේෂන්ස් ඇස්සේ අර ඉන් ඩීටේල් බලන්න බැරි වුණා. වෙලාවක් තිබුණේ නැහනේ.
then සුමුදු ඔයාලට තේරෙනවා නේද සුමුදු what you need to do
Yes.
ඔව් සුමුදු පුළුවන් තරම් ඉක්මනට රෑ වෙලා හරි කමන්නේ අශෝක මිසුත් ඉන්නවා රෑ වෙනකන් anyhow so you can have a chat with her through online Zoom sessions rather than visiting her so at the end if it is necessary you can visit okay so first thing find out of this already downloaded papers whether you have some very good quality paper related to the research which you are doing. Then if it is there, based on that paper, you can just remoderate your research work. Okay. There are Sumudu. Ajit sir, anything or some Ashoka means anything you want to
No,
add,
that's
then
all,
we can
that's
wind
all.
up because she is also still in the bus.
Yes.
මම මේක එවන්නම් සුමුදු එහෙමනම් රෙකෝඩින් එක ඔයාලට දැන්. ඒකත් අහලා චුට්ටක් ඔයා ළඟ තියෙන රිසර්ච් පේපර්ස් බලලා ඉවරලා ඊට පස්සේ අශෝක මිස්ව කන්ටැක්ට් කරන්න ඕකේ
Okay. Thank you
හරිද
very much for the
හරි
guidance.
සුමුදු හරි then all the best good luck to you සුමුදු
wish you all
thank
the
you
best.
yeah thank you Ajit sir and thank you Ashoka
Okay,
Sir,
okay.
Dr. Callum, I
Yeah.
have a kind of like a small suggestion.
yeah
Is there any possibility that we can like make a WhatsApp group like adding Professor Ashok and Professor Arjun so that we can put a message there if there's something important concern in
ඔය මේ
like
මෙයාට සුමුදුට විතරක් එහෙම එකක් හදුවා නම් ඉවරයි නේද group එක
ඒකත් කමක් නැහැ sir අපි කියන්නේ අපිට වෙනම එකක් හරි කමක් නැහැ sir ගේ
okay
කැමැත්ත.
නෑ නෑ it's okay no problem
Okay sir.
ඔව්
හරි.
හදලා එවන්න එකක්
Okay, I'll do that.
okay Hari Ajit sir එහෙනම් thank you Ashoka thank you okay
Thank you, Professor. Thank
okay
you.
So,
Thank you.
okay, Sumudu. Right. Bye. Thank you, Gitmi.